This is The Real Shift with Templeton Walker
and Kristen Cantrell,
where we break down all things Real Broker, why we both decided to move our businesses to Real Brokerage. We interview top agents from across the nation, like you're going to hear today. You guys, welcome back to The Real Shift podcast with Templeton and
Kristen.
And we have the one and only Marin May, who is the Vice President of Growth. Did I say that right?
Correct, yes.
For a year and a half now at Real, we are so honored to have you. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you today.
For sure.
You are definitely like one of our favorites. I know that all the time, like anything that happens within my business, I feel like I have this amazing go-to person to call and to be able to like make shit happen. So I love having you.
Yes.
Well, thank you, because I try to be that. I always tell people I'm the fastest texter in the West, usually, most of the time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I wanna frame who and what you are to us. You know, I mean, Kristen just touched on it, but I think a lot of times people think, I'm going to this publicly traded company. There's an executive team that you're just never going to get access to. There's 30,000 plus agents. Like, where would I even have access to a resource? And I know for me personally, as I brought Kristen over, or other just really high level players down to individual agents, there's never been a time that I didn't feel like I couldn't call or text you and you're like, Temp, yeah. I got your back.
Totally.
Here's the solution. If there's not a solution, let me try to work on one. And to just know that, like, from the executive level to have that sort of support, it has been a game changer on my growth. And that's really what you do. So could you, in a nutshell, kind of give people an idea of what you do at the company and what that looks like?
And how you support agents.
Yes. Well, thank you for the kind words. I try to be that human. I love all of you guys so much. And I feel like my job is to be of service to you guys in whatever way that I can. I am on the growth team. The growth team is small but mighty here at Real. We're comprised of now 6 people, actually. We have Jason Cassidy on the team now, as well as Joel Kirsch, who's been here for 8 years at Real. He is an OG. I think he's one of the oldest employees, if not the oldest employee other than Tamir himself.
Like, absolutely love Joel, too.
He's been on the pod,
amazing.
Friend of the pod.
Yep, friend of the pod.
Yeah, Joel, I always joke, I'm like, Joel knows where all the bodies are buried. Like, truly, if I hit a wall, I go to Joel, right? And then under Joel is myself and my counterpart, Noelle Clausen. We're in territories, so I'm like kind of a little over, if you look at the map of North America, I'm like Texas straight up all the way over, and Noelle is East Coast, and she's a vice president of growth as well, although you can interchange us. I always say, like, pull the right butt off the bench for the job, personality wise, for sure. And so she and I handle supporting you guys when you're having high level conversations with large producers, team leaders, broker owners, franchise owners. We work with you guys top of the funnel all the way down. Sometimes you'll bring people to us at the very end of the road where you're like, we need financial modeling, or we need to know how to set up their organization within Real on pro teams. Or sometimes you guys will pull us off the bench early on and be like, I have this friend, or I met this broker owner and they're looking at their options and they want to learn more about Real. Will you meet with them? So we handle those conversations under Noelle and myself, our growth managers, Ela and Gab, and Ela reports to me, and she's on the West Coast with me. She's located in Colorado. I'm in Southern California in Redondo Beach, just for context. And then under Noelle is Gab, who is in Philadelphia. And so all of us are here to be of service to you guys. I think sometimes we're grossly underutilized. We love you. We love supporting you. We love having these conversations with you. We are not comped in any way on revenue share or commission or anything like that. And so we're literally just here to be of service to you, the people that you're talking to at Real. We do occasionally handle inbound conversations when people reach out to learn more. So that's basically what I do all day. So I always joke when people say, what do you do? I'm like, I make friends with real estate entrepreneurs all across the country. That is what I do.
I've literally told my son that since he was 5. Like, that is my answer. I love that. And I think you're so accurate in the sense that you guys are so grossly underutilized. Like, I think that a lot of times I see agents come over and they try to take on this whole other role all by themselves. And it's like, no. One of the best parts of being at Real is the leverage of your partners and the team, like having yourself and everybody else to be able to help you with that other component of your business.
Yeah, it's there. I think people grossly underutilize us and also their networks too,
Oh my
right?
gosh,
Like
yeah.
when you choose a sponsor, you get a sponsor and you get everybody in their network too. Like
Yep.
we all want to be here to help you, but you'll get as much out of this model as you put into it. You've got to reach out and engage, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think we need to come back to that, but before we do, like, who are you? Like, take us back to how did you even end up at Real?
Oh, okay. I'll try to land the plane quickly for you guys. So, based out of Southern California, Los Angeles, little beach town called Redondo Beach. I born and raised in Los Angeles. I have been in real estate for 25 years. I know you think, but she looks so young.
Yes. You
But
started when you were
I
4?
I know. I started when I was 4. Yes. Extra points for Templeton. So I started selling real estate. I was actually a child actor. If you want to Google me and have some laughs,
I could totally
you
see
will,
that.
for sure. Huh?
I could see that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, now
And
I'm like curious.
I
What,
know, I know.
what movies? Give us a couple.
Do you know Macaulay Culkin?
Yeah, no, he's younger than me because I'm actually getting. I mean, I'm not old, but I'm much older than Macaulay Culkin. So you'll
Is
see
there
my
is there any films though that we would recognize?
Yeah, well, so my big claim to fame, like that I still get fan mail on and people reach out to me about, was I was on a science fiction show called V when I was a little girl, V the
Oh.
Final Battle. It came out in 81 and 82. You guys weren't born yet. And it was a super, like, it was a big deal at the time. And so there's all these science fiction fans that are still obsessed with V and they still reach
That's
out to me.
crazy.
That's so
That's so
cool.
cool.
That is
Yeah, they ask
awesome.
for headshots. Like it's so weird, so counterintuitive. But no, I did over 100 commercials, and I did modeling and television shows and films and all kinds of crazy
That's
crap.
cool.
That's so cool.
Anyway, I ended up going into real estate originally because I needed flexibility to go on auditions. I injured myself waiting tables, actually, like all good actresses do. Cut to, I fell in love with real estate. It was like, what, you could work hard and be consistent and be successful in this industry? It's
Yeah.
not nepotism. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And so I gave up acting and focused on my real estate career. And I sold real estate for 10 years in Los Angeles. I ended up with a partner becoming a top producer. We sold around 50 to 60 million a year. So not huge, but nothing to, shake a stick at. And I loved it. I fell madly in love, and then the market crashed. And at the same time, so did my marriage. And I became a single mom of a 2-year-old. And all my deals were short sales, which is a whole other topic we could talk about probably another time. I worked with a lot of attorneys. I was blessed. But I was trying to save everybody and keep them in their homes. And so at that time, my escrow officer came to me and kind of had to come to Jesus and said, you need more stability, Marin. You should meet with my company and look into this marketing executive role with the org, base salary, benefits, all those things, right? And the rest is history. I begrudgingly took the job and went to the office in Beverly Hills every day and cried my eyes out. I couldn't believe my life had come to this. I felt like, and then I slowly realized, hey, I love real estate. I know how to build a successful business. I know everything about the transaction and the contracts. I can actually help people grow their businesses. I worked with a lot of developers and speculators. And so I very quickly realized I could leverage my relationships and approach the conversation from a consultative point of view, and then it didn't feel dirty and gross. I was earning the business. I know if I can help you grow your business and find you an assistant or introduce you to a developer, or find you off-market product, help create inventory for you, listings, buyers, I knew that then I felt good about the conversation, and that it was a mutually beneficial relationship, right? And then that's how I fell into recruiting. When I would talk to amazing agents like you, I would say, when you have a choice, who do you like to use for escrow and title? And then I'd just go recruit them. And that is how I would get your business instead of begging you for a deal. And then I built out a commercial division and got involved in commercial. And then I left and I went and built with amazing humans, some of which are at Real actually today, a local boutique brokerage in West Hollywood. And I recruited for them and helped run the office and manage the agents. And then I went back to First American Title and I opened up a bunch of escrow offices in Southern California for First American. And at the same time, I got to work on a project at Boston Consulting Group, Digital Ventures. And in that was a life-changing experience. Working with Boston Consulting Group, we did what's called an innovation sprint for First American. And our job was to go out and interview every stakeholder in a transaction, learn every different model that was out there in the wonderful world of real estate, be an embed, educate them about real estate, and come up with business ideas for First American to invest in. And my love for real estate technology was born because it was this wonderful crossroads of where real estate, this industry that I love so much, that's done so much for me and others, meets enablement and efficiency and creating a better experience for who matters to all of us. The buyers and sellers, they're the most important human in this entire transaction. None of us exist without them. And from there, I went into the wonderful world of real estate technology. And so I've spent the better part of the last 7 or 8 years, I'd say, building digital title companies, brokerages, working in the startup world of real estate. And I came to Real because I always do competitor analysis. And I was actually at a previous brokerage, a Series B brokerage that was only in 7 states. And I would lay in bed reviewing all of my competition. And I remember coming across Real and thinking, God, my life would be so much easier if I worked for a company like this. They're doing everything right. And so when the time came that I knew that I was ready for my next adventure, I reached out to Sharon and said, hey, I don't know if there's a spot or not, or if it's a good fit, but I think we should have a conversation and talk. And he created a role for me and let me join the growth team. I'm so grateful he did.
Oh, cool.
I have met so many amazing humans in this role, and I love supporting you guys in your day-to-day business and helping people grow their business, right? When we bring on amazing agents to Real, it's an entrepreneurial model. It helps them grow their business. And so to be witness to that and a part of that and be a part of that journey for all of you guys is super meaningful to me.
Marin, when you're I love the hustle and the story of that. Like you really were able to paint a good picture of like the wealth of knowledge you have for agents. Like it's no wonder you're such a valuable asset every time we make these relationships because you have a lot of experience. One question I have is when you're seeing agents consider the move over to Real right now, and now that you've been here a year and a half, what are the biggest value adds that you're seeing at Real that is getting people to convert over to the brokerage? Like, I mean, everyone has like a reason or two, right? Or a sticking point rather. Why are people coming, and why are some of the biggest producers in the nation coming? Because you're on the front line really experiencing it.
I think that this model is so unique and that it is truly built for real estate entrepreneurs, and there's so many different levers you can pull with the model. So Sharon used to say it's a platform of possibilities, and he's not wrong about that. The platform, the model offers you all these endless possibilities. So suddenly you go from being in a traditional model or a legacy model where there's a ceiling, right? You're only going to get so far with that model. And you come to Real, and I always joke, I tell people, I'm like, we have very few rules here. I always say we have 3 rules here. The first is don't do anything illegal and be compliant, please, right? The second is don't be a jerk. Kindness matters here. Our culture is very important. And the last thing is we really try to never tell you no unless we can't support it on the back end. And that's the God's honest truth. I think we really let you guys run and build your businesses your own way. We are here to enable and support you, not keep you down. And so when you look at some of the other models out there, I think there's a lot of rules, there's a lot of regulations. It really becomes about the brokerage and their brand. And I think that whole way of approaching real estate practitioners like you guys has been kind of flipped.
Yeah.
We're truly here to be of service to you guys and help do whatever we can, again, to help you be present, show up, and do the best job that you can for your buyers and sellers, because that is truly what matters. And then conversely, the model enables all of you guys to build something meaningful for yourselves and your families, right? There's equity, there's wealth that can be built, there's multiple streams of revenue that can be leveraged with this model, right? So it unlocks people in a way that it becomes this like playground of fun versus a legacy model or a model that's geographically limited, right? That's on an island. So anyway.
Oh, I love the way you put that, like the unlock and the playground. It's so true. It's so, so true. And I talk to agents from all these, older brokerages, and they're just like, there is so much red tape around what they can and can't do. And I feel like we are so free to do and like run and be, build these businesses that are just so different. So it's really cool.
And build our own brand, right?
Yeah.
Like I think Real is a great jetpack on our brand, but it isn't the brand, right? Like you already had such a unique, people come to me for me oftentimes, and people go to you for you.
Yeah.
And the brokerage is as a benefit. It's not the thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of brokerages want to be the star of the show, and they'll red tape you to death because they want to put you in this box, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I tell a story a lot. I started selling in 2002, and I was at Prudential, and we were the Rock, and I always joke, I'm like, I'd go on my listing presentations with my little leather portfolio, and I'd sit at my listing presentation and open it up, and I would show the seller how I marketed their house, right? My little color flyers and my brochures and my little newspaper cutouts. And I kid you not, one of the things I would say, which is horrifying to think about now, but it was, you should list with us because we have more color ad space in the LA Times than Coldwell Banker does.
Mm-hmm.
Like no that was a value proposition.
Yeah, that was like back in the old days, it was about your brokerage, right? Nowadays, oh my gosh, like the consumer most of the time does not care what brokerage you're at. The brokerage is here to be of support to you so you can better support your clients. The consumer doesn't care anymore. They're hiring you for you. Agents understanding their unique value proposition has never been more important in the history of real estate than it is right now. Yeah. So it's all about you guys. We're just here to support you in meaningful ways as a brokerage.
Yeah.
And then when you look at the math, like Marin, I've made a pivot just to all luxury. I've been building ground up specs and selling luxury stuff, which has been a great pivot for me. But in that world, you run into a lot of legacy brands and agents that take a lot of pride in where they're at. And we'll just kind of share the math, and they'll be on a 10 or 20% split, to the brokerage, uncapped, paying oftentimes multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars to their brokerage. And I'm just like,
hundreds and hundreds.
I hope that brand is like bringing a lot.
Well, and here you are, you're like, I'm making hundreds of thousands at my brokerage.
And I'm
like from just
making,
like one income stream.
Yeah.
Like just from rev share.
Yeah. I'm blessed to make $250,000 a year and growing inbound.
Yep.
It's like, so once you start to do the math, I'm just like, hey, I just don't understand why you wouldn't look at it. At least look at it.
Yeah.
Stay curious, people. Like, I don't have my AirPods near me, but they're engraved, and I engraved them and put stay curious. And I subscribe to a philosophy of gratitude and curiosity, right? It never hurts to have conversations. It never hurts to know more amazing humans in our industry. You never know where we might be able to help each other. There is enough for everyone, but I always like to plant people's curiosity. Like, even if you're not ready to make a move or now's not the right time or whatever, it's so good to be educated about what your options are and the different models that are out there, So I'm a big one. I'm like, stay curious. I still do competitor analysis all the time. Anyone I meet with, I'm like, you should meet with every brokerage. Find out what everybody is doing. It educates you. It keeps you up to date on what's going on. It lets you know what your competition is. It's no shame in that game, right? We want to be educated about what's happening in our industry.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree. Oh my gosh, I can't. So we were on a call. It was a weekly call that we have at Real for agent attraction, and I can't get over something that was said about you. They were talking about how you're like an amazing recruiter and how like things take time when you're recruiting agents. And they said that you chased Kofi down the road to recruit him. And it was like actually true. I thought that was hilarious.
You literally ran after him?
Ran after someone.
I did. So
and I could see that from her.
I'm not above holding people to their word with guilt and shame.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I try to be a person of my word, and I expect the same from anyone that I'm interacting with. And so Kofi's really funny. I'd reached out to Kofi. I was working for a different brokerage at the time, and he had kind of like feigned interest, but was kind of shining me on and pushing me off and pushing me off. And we were all at Inman. This is when Inman used to do like a luxury event in Beverly Hills. And we were all at Inman, and I was crossing Wilshire Boulevard, and I look over and I see Kofi. And so we were crossing, and so I trapped him in the middle of the crosswalk, and I was like, Kofi Nardi, you promised me you would make time for me. You swore, and I know you're not a man of your word. And he was like, okay, fine. You got me.
It's so
good. And the rest is history. And at the time, I didn't bring him to Real, although he's here with us at Real now as well. It was a different company. But yeah, I did. I chased him down in the street.
That's
but
amazing.
It's a relationship
Isn't
business,
that good?
right?
Well, I think that's what, I love like when we get on those calls, because what I find is so many people in our industry have this like negative feeling around the word recruiting, because there are so many bad recruiters out there. But I feel like at Real, all the successful recruiting agents, it's because they're also relational and they're so intentional with how they're showing up inside of our industry. And those are the people that you're really seeing build these big organizations. And I feel like you were such a great example of that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's I remember a different company I was at, they said, when I decided to leave, it was because the founder came to me and said, relationships don't matter. And I was like, all right, it's time for me to go.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Relationships do matter.
Yeah, they do.
They matter in this industry on every level. And you're right. I think, when we look at recruiting, or like we call it attraction here, which I really appreciate, because I like keeping it classy, right? Like we're not just like recruiting you to recruit you. I think at any time you're talking to somebody, it's about understanding what makes them tick and what's important to them, and seeing if the values align, right? If you can make somebody's life better and make things better for them professionally and personally too, like we're talking about families, people with kids and mates, it's purpose driven. Mm-hmm. It's meaningful. So be curious, build relationships, be of service to people. And it may or may not be a good fit, but if you can make their life better, like who doesn't want to help other humans in our life to have a better life?
You said it a little bit earlier when you said when you got into title and escrow, you got your mind around it when you said, oh, I can deliver value. Like I can actually bring value to the equation, and I don't necessarily need to like sell people. I can just bring value, and that'll bring business. And I think that's what Real has done, is like, it's value based. So it really is attraction. It's not like, here's what we're going to do for you, and we're going to write you a check, or we're going to give you the world. It's like, no, if you want to be here, we can attract you in, and there's all these benefits. But I don't feel like we're like thirsty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Where other times it feels like people are like thirsty for the sale, and we're kind of confident in what we have, or it's like, hey, we'd love to have you, but we're not going to like
chase you down.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, no, we will chase you across Wilshire.
Well, actually, we will
we'll chase you across Wilshire.
I mean, I might chase you down, but Templeton and Kristen will not chase you down.
No.
I mean, I also might chase somebody down the road just for fun. So funny.
Yeah, I mean, I think, different strokes for different folks, and that's okay. There's a lot of models out there, and God bless them. I'm so grateful. Like, you want to have different models.
Yeah.
It's good. It keeps us all honest. It keeps us all innovating and iterating on what we're doing for the industry. It drives, I love capitalism, right? That's what drives growth and change. We don't want to all be the same. And so it's okay. Sometimes this model isn't right for somebody for where they are in their lives. But a lot of times it is. And like I said, there's all these levers you can pull. Mm-hmm. That's why I think it's really important to understand the why behind everyone.
Yep.
Right? So that you can see where there would be meaningful lift for them in their lives with the model that we have here.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you, if you were to look forward at Real in the next 1 to 3 years, something that you're really excited about that maybe someone like Tim or I, or just, any random agent at Real might not know about? What would that be?
I think we still, I have a bias because this is what I do every day of my life, but we are so uniquely positioned for broker owners, people leaving franchise. The franchise model is so dead at this point. People are miserable. I meet with people who are in franchises about to leave their franchise agreements regularly. And they're basically paying a lot of money to get to use a logo. That's it. and broker owners are amazing. They're my favorite. Like, talk about a serial entrepreneur who has put their blood, sweat, and tears into building something really wonderful, but then they hit a ceiling too, right? They're either attached to it and they can't go on vacation, they can't grow, they can't retire, or they can't really meaningfully grow without creating a ton of lift, expense, heartburn for themselves, or adding a lot of money to their P&L, right? To run and grow. And so I would say to anyone listening, I think we're really uniquely positioned to support those entrepreneurs, to help them better run their teams, their back end, their operations, to help them grow geographically and scale. If they want to scale into other states, they can so easily here, right? So I think that's really meaningful. I love Real Wallet. Real Wallet's so brilliant.
We're obsessed too.
It's so easy
What?
to,
We're obsessed with
and
it
it's
too.
easy.
Easy.
I am too. And it's such a differentiator. Nobody else has that.
Yeah.
And it again shows the spirit and ethos of this company and how much we care about the industry and you guys.
Yep.
This company is constantly like, how can we make your lives and your businesses better, right? We see it in the AI that we're building. We see it in the wallet that we built, which is, for those who don't know about Wallet, it is a banking platform that was custom built for real estate agents. Like, mic drop. If you walk into a traditional lending institution and you need money, a loan, whatever, they look at you side-eyed because you're a 1099 independent contractor with no stated income, right? We can underwrite you in a way that a regular banking institution cannot. And so Real Wallet just unlocks so much for you guys. The other day, I don't know if you guys were on that call, but one of our agents was like, because we have this thing called Real Capital where you can actually get like, I'm not supposed to call it a line of credit, but it's basically like a line of credit. And people are flipping houses with it. They're refinancing unsecured debt. But this one girl, she was like, I started a staging company. And I was like,
love that. I was not on that call.
Coolest.
That
Isn't that cool?
It's so cool.
Access to capital as a small business owner, which most realtors are, small to medium-sized business owners,
Correct.
is so insane. And because you guys can underwrite us, because you have unique knowledge of our commissions, of our stock holdings, of our rev share, you can underwrite it. And when it came out, I didn't need the capital, but I just wanted to experience it.
Yeah.
I borrowed 150 grand and I read, it was like, it was going to cost me $2,500 or something over time. And I was like, oh, this would be a great video that I never freaking posted. But
You still haven't posted that?
No, I've been in a weird funk.
Oh,
but anyway, that's not the point. Not in a funk. No, I'm happy, good, blessed. Content's confusing right now. Anyway, when I tell you I had $150,000 in 20 minutes,
Yeah, it was crazy.
20 minutes, it was in my Real Wallet, like real dollars. I was like, oh, this is dumb. This is silly. It's crazy.
He told me, and then I went and borrowed $30,000. Like, it was cool because it's like, it did. It shows up in your account like a couple minutes later, and it's just like that.
And then you just have
awesome.
a monthly payment. I just went in and was going to pay mine off, but you have the monthly payment. But I used it. I ended up keeping the money out and put it in to one of my builds that I'm doing.
Yeah.
That'll give me like 100% return, and I think I'm paying like 12% on the money.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like hard money. It's not
It's
super
so
high.
great.
That's why we have agents who have like high interest rate credit cards and they're literally taking the money and financing out of their debt with it and paying it off, right?
How cool.
So there's all these cool use cases, but yeah, she purchased a bunch of furniture and started a staging company.
That's so cool.
I love that story.
Isn't that the coolest?
That is the coolest.
Marin, so if someone's listening to this and you wanted to kind of, they're probably driving in their car right now. They're at their brokerage. All of this is resonating. What is the process of them starting the conversation, taking the leap? Like, how would you best navigate a move over to kind of finish this out?
Well, obviously, if they're a fan of your guys' podcast and they're listening right now, they can always reach out to you guys, and you guys can always tap me off the bench, and we can get together and powwow and explore if it's a good move for them or not. They can always reach out to me directly too. I'm obviously on social and all that, but we have an email on the growth team as well. It's called growth@therealbrokerage.com, and you can always email in and ask for a meeting. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of A lot of ways to reach out. They can reach out to you guys. They can reach out to us. We're here to be of service to them. I always warn people, I'm like, this is not a hard sell. I'm not going to come after you and try to close you or anything like that. We're going to go on a journey. We're Sherpas, right?
We're Sherpas.
And I'm going to learn all about you and your business. And then we'll look at the model and we'll see if it's a good fit. And if it doesn't make your personal and professional life better, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't come here, right? And so it's that simple. So yeah, so if anybody's like curious, you're listening right now and you're like, it does sound like a different model. I wonder what it would look like. Or if you're wondering economically, like, could you run the numbers for me and take what I made in 2025 and just like show me a cost comparison? I can do that. If you want to see the back end on our platform and our tech, which is amazing and it works, I can show you that, right? Or if you just want to meet and have conversations, it's never a bad idea. Again, go make friends, building your sphere, not just with buyers and sellers, but with other amazing humans in the industry. It only adds to who you are as a human and a practitioner. It's always good to know amazing humans in the industry. And I'm certainly grateful when I get to meet all of you guys. So I'm always happy to have a conversation. It's always confidential, by the way. Like, I think some people freak out. They worry that somebody's going to find out about it, and we keep everything super confidential. Nobody needs to know. But yeah, we're all here to be of service, right?
Yeah.
Love it.
I love how you put that. Well, we've enjoyed having you on. This was a blast.
Absolutely. Marin, not Marin May.
That's right. Like the county.
Yeah, like the county. What's a good social handle for you?
On Instagram, you can find me at Marin May and the number 1. And then on Facebook, you can just search Marin May and you'll see my face pop up. And then I'm old or middle-aged, so those are the only 2 that I really check regularly.
Well, I can't thank you enough for being here with us today. To the listeners, we appreciate you guys. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that you listen to your podcast, you're going to find us. Share this with a friend, share this with an agent, and just know that you got a super team over here ready to walk you through that process if you're curious. So, Marin, thank you. And to everyone listening, have a good one.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.
It's a pleasure to be. Bye.